What's up? I gotta say, I always say that, you know, this video is gonna be different and all that, but this one is truly different because it just, I just saw a cat outside, probably the neighbors. I'm not so sure. I saw some weird movement, some shadows, and I was like, oh my chicken, the living chicken. We don't plan to eat or anything like that. The chicken is in the pen. So what could have made that shadows? Hang on a minute. And I had shitty eyesight. I gotta be honest with you. I can't see shit. I cannot see anything at all, especially in the darkness and while it's still raining, which it does still is still raining. But I can see it a little bit until it was trying to hide from the light because cats, they don't want to be preyed upon, so they try to find comfort in darkness. So the floor that was pretty much a garage, right? It was like open garage, and it was like a roof, and that's where we keep our chicken. And it didn't go to the dry area because it's raining right now. It's raining very hard, and it's probably trying to find like a shelter. So I noticed a shadow, and then it was like hiding behind a pillar, and I can make out the you know the characteristic of the cat. It's probably one of the neighbors, like I said before. It's not a stray. They probably like wandering around during the night and then get lost. He got lost maybe, and it was trying to find a shelter. The rain was pouring down quite heavily, so it's when I see it, when I was about to go smoke, near the window side. I opened my window so I can smoke, and then I see it, and I was like, man, it's gonna get wet. It's gonna be like it's gonna get sick or something. So I stand up. I just open the light. I guess not open the light. Open the door. Uh, Turn on the light, and I was trying to find it, and I couldn't find it, and yeah, I was like, oh, maybe it go elsewhere. Maybe it goes to its owner. And then I come back. I turn off the light. I come back to my room. I look at the garage. Feels weird saying that, but yeah, I was looking at the garage, and there's no sign of him. No sign of that cat. Man, I feel kind of bad. And honestly, I should this weird shadow. I should investigate. No, I investigate the moment it already left the property, and I guess you can tell by the song in the background. It reminded me of my cat I used to have. It was last year, maybe. Probably early 2025, or maybe before that. I don't remember. It's sometimes ago. Yeah, it's probably just sometimes ago. Just sometimes I forgot. But it was like a abandoned kitten. My mom was like doing some odd job because back then I didn't make money, so she had to do all the work, and it was that's not the important part, but just for context, she was doing some odd job and cleaning places, to make money and keep the house fed a little bit. And she found herself with a kitten that is clearly starving and doesn't have it doesn't have like a like a family. I don't know. I don't know how cat works. I don't know the terminology, but She was clinging on my mother's jacket all the way home. And mind you, this is like a stray cat from an abandoned building, maybe. And it was not, it wasn't trying to like, get, it wasn't trying to like back off or like get away. It was desperate. It was really desperate, really. I don't even know the word to describe it. I just know that it was desperate and it take a gamble to to take a chance with my mom. So it clings to the jacket that my mother was wearing, and she take it home, and we take care of her. Um, and not much has happened, as at least not that I can remember. But she grew up. I guess. Yeah, I think she grew up for like a year, maybe. Yeah, I think it's all the way back in 2024. She grew up for a year and become a mother. And I should have noticed beforehand, but I don't. I just learned the hard truth. She probably doesn't have the immunity from the milk that they get to fed by mother's cat. She was an abandoned kitten, not abandoned, more like her mother probably go elsewhere because of danger, and maybe she's the only kitten that was birthed from that mother and didn't have time to protect her. So that's how it found my mother and clinched and just gamble with her life. And then 1 year passed. She gave birth to a kitten, a black kitten, and we take care of them. Yes, but that original kitten, the mother was after the birth of her kitten, she passed away not long after, and I don't remember whether we have given her a vaccine or not, but I'm pretty sure we did try to get her a vaccine, but because of her low immunity and probably disease written ever since we take her in on day one, she probably have like a weak body, weak immune system. And the same follows her kitten. So she passed away, and then her kitten lived for about 5 months. It was a feisty one. It passed away, and then it was like hiding itself from a lot of people. The house is not that big. The house is not that small. It's just perfectly sized, I suppose. It died like right next to my room, and we thought it was like a dead rat, smell. We just assumed that because there's so much rat in that place. And then we found the body. I was rotting, so we decided to give him rather his kitten, give him a grate in front of our front yard to rest with his mother, which should be the end of it. Honestly, that should be the end of it. But then we adopt some kitten. Oh, not kitten, but more like another mother cat. We were like, oh, just take them in. And we should have learned that mistake from before, right? But we didn't, so I feel guilty about it, even though I shouldn't, because hindsight is always 2020 or whatever they say. But man, even with my eyeglasses, my eyesight is not it's not 2020. Not to break the mood or anything, because it's all sad and that. But you gotta move on. You gotta live on from all these losses. But yeah, we had like a new cat, and we mostly keep her in the room, so she was a indoor cat. And then she gave birth to four kittens, and for some reason there was a mysterious disease going around that area, and she was a indoor cat, so she doesn't really have exposure to other cat that have my aunt have like a lot of cats, and they are all stray, so the immune system is much better because they grew up with their mother, and they get vaccinated and all that. They're exposed to each other, so the immune system is working all the time. So she gave birth to four kitten, and then she just passed away somewhere near the apartment that was next to our house. It was a gruesome scene. I didn't even know she passed away until like she gone for 2 days, and we were like worrying about her because her kitten need the milk. Otherwise, we have to buy like a supplement or whatever they call. But I eventually I managed to get like some goat milk, and back then I didn't even make money. By the way, I just kind of live off scraps. I live off my saving, I guess. And those kitten, one of them was adopted by our neighbor in the neighborhood, and they returned the kitten. They were like, oh, we're gonna take care of it, and then they returned it to us. And I should have known, but like I said, hindsight is 2020. I should have known that something bad would happen, because that kitten probably carry like a disease, pathogens from the outside world, and it's slowly claiming one after another, one by one. We noticed it was kind of weak at first, and it was weak. It was giving out. I mean, it looks normal on the paper. I guess like it still move around. It's still like go meowing, meowing. Just just a normal kitten behavior. At that time, I have no money, not enough for a vaccine anyway. They cost like almost $20, 400 Thai baht in Thailand. And yeah, there's like four of them, so we can afford to pay for almost like $100. Well, technically speaking, it's around $60 to $70. But anyway, they just die one by one. We wake up one day and the first kitten is gone. Then we have the rest, and then the second one is gone after, and the third, and the final one. And at that point I realized, I don't know, maybe we don't deserve animals. I don't see animals as some kind of pet. Not exactly, no. I see it as my companion, They live with you, they live through you, they make your day brighter, and vice versa. Even though, cats are kind of a shy animal, sort of. Depends on the breed and environment. But yeah. It was a hard thing to say. I just shouldn't talk about it. It's important law to my story, I guess, for all those night watchers that care about my law in real life. But yeah, that's the story about my cat. I don't see them as pet, even though I said my cat. I don't think animals are pets specifically. I know a lot of people who popular and probably the most brightest people on the internet, and you often hear them talk highly of how well they take care of their pets, their companion in my case. And sometimes those people just the opposite of what they say. I'm not gonna throw shade at anyone. I don't think I know anyone that abuse animal and all that. Not personally, anyway. So you can make all the jokes. Depends on what kind of people you watch, and what kind of just people that on the internet or in real life. They seems to be having a blast having an animal as their companion, but no, just a pet as a decoration, or emotional comfort. Nothing was built emotionally. No empathy, no sympathy. But the video is not about that. I just want to talk about my cat. Well, eventually we move out to a new place, and again the neighbors. I don't know what it is with my neighbor giving, like us like animal, but we take in like a battle frog. I don't know how to say frog in English. Basically, one of those chicken you put in a fight and you bet the money on which one is gonna be defeated or whatever. But this battle frog is it was getting picked by its own mother, I guess. Not sure why, but that's what my mother said. So I don't know if it's that story that is correct, or is she getting bullied by other chicken? But she was hurt pretty bad, and we take her in. We're gonna take Peter. No, we're gonna take pity in that chicken. So the first few weeks of her settling in our place was, she was shy. She was not very, expressive. She was very, very depressed, I guess, which kind of fit me. And I like, taking care of it a little bit. And then after like a month or two, it's probably in third month already, we we have to adapt to our, I don't know, like living situation. I mean, we don't make millions dollars, but we manage to get more money to support ourselves. And sometimes I get to spoil the chicken. She's a feisty one as well. And don't worry. The last 2, 3 stories I told is about loss, but this one survived. This one lives on. We even get her new pen. Back then she was living in like a hamster cage that my older brother used to have when he had a hamster. So it was, yeah, she was very much in a cage. So we got a new pen for her, and yeah, she's energetic now. She's very expressive. It was kind of funny how like a polar opposite of what she was when we took her in. Now she like walking around, I guess. I'm seeing weird shadows. Is that cat? I know if there's a cat shadow or not. It could be my brother for all I know. But yeah, we still have the chicken, and I'm gonna move out by the end of the year. So we're gonna transport her somehow. Probably the best way to transport her is probably just get her in the hamster cage and take us, take her home with us as the first thing to settle in the home in the new house. She'll be fine. She's strong, and yeah, I think that's about it for this story. I just want to talk about my cat and my chicken. You have no idea how much of a menace this chicken is. The moment she realized that she's become part of the family, part of the house, she got taken care of, in a way that doesn't mean like assassination or whatever. We feed her, we find bugs and insects and all kind of things for her to eat. And all she does is just staying in her pen and poop a lot. Like seriously, when I was like, oh, I'm gonna feed her a little bit more, and just can spoil her a little bit more, so I can feel good about myself. I don't know. It seems hungry, so I give it a little extra rice, and then it just poop a lot. And I was like, oh shit, well, I have to clean this. Except not really. My mother usually clean those stuff. I don't know how to clean animal poops, but that's beside the point. Anyway, thanks for listening in to this story. If you lose your pet and cry over this commentary I make, I'm sorry, I suppose. But we're gonna move on. We're gonna live on in those memories. I was about to say something about loss and moving on with people's passing, but that's gonna be too depressed. I never take my med, so I cannot be depressed when I take my med. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening in. I know I did stream on Limbus Company, so there's probably a lot of people that doesn't know what kind of content I was making. Well, if you watched to the end of the video, you know now. I just talk about stuff. I'm not particularly good at everything. Not a jack of all trade, but I do have some talent. So just stick around if you want more. Not more content like this. This is not just content to be pumped out every day, bro. I'm working on a project right now. 2 projects. We're technically 2.5 project. Writing project and Arknight video. And I don't know which one I should do first. I'll decide that later. But anyway, it's been a while. It's been too long for a video, so I should stop now. Talking about my cat and my chicken for like 20 minutes. Yeah, I think this should be it. Otherwise, I'll be rambling on for the rest of the night. Alright, good night and good day. And just, take care of yourself. I try to. So you should too. Alright. Ciao.